Good morning, Your Honor. Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
Good morning. Do we have them?
No, not
Mary Brewer? They are not here. If you'd like to take default, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. At this point, due to the defendant's lack of appearance, a plaintiff moves for a default judgment for possession. Rent to retain is currently $3,854. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $4,024. We would be seeking a writ to issue on May 4th, 2026. No money judgment is entered, and to my knowledge, the defendant is not a minor, incapacitated, or in the military. And then, to my knowledge, the unit has been kept fit for its intended use and purpose, and in compliance with the local health and safety codes. That was a mouthful.
All right. Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession, redemption amount, assuming the amount requested, writ to issue in 10 days.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Haverhill on Clark versus Eric Britton.
easier.
Hello, Judge. Good morning, Judge.
And good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
All right. Good morning. And what is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Plaintiff is alleging $899.90 in arrears due and owing through the end of this month. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $1,069.90.
$1,069
and 90 cents. 90.
90 cents. Okay. Thank you. All right. And how are you intending on getting that paid?
I've been paying all month, so I just I'm doing Uber Eats right now. It'll be paid by the rest of the month. Can I explain just a little bit briefly to you, so you know why I'm behind?
Well, I don't. Oh, go ahead if you want, briefly.
Yeah, my security deposit, it was moved out of my rent balance at the end of February, so I had to pay like $1,500 on top of my $1,300 rent in March. So that's just what put me a little behind, but I'll be back caught up before May starts.
Before May 1st?
Yes. I owe $900 currently.
Okay, well, you owe that plus costs, so you owe about $1,070 right now.
To the court, or?
No, that's all to the plaintiff, all to your landlord.
Oh, all right.
All right. So within, say, this next week, how much can you get paid? How much can you get? Yeah.
7 days. 800.
Okay, so you can get 800 sometime this week. I'm just going to put by the 30th. Okay. Now the problem's going to be is that your May rent's going to click in.
Yeah.
Okay, so your balance, you're going to pay part of this, but then your balance is going to kick back up by the time we come back for the next hearing.
Right.
Okay. And counsel, I don't have another date until May 8th. I'm not here on the 1st for second hearings. So I'm going to have to adjourn this to May 8th. 2026 at 1 p.m. Sir, that's an in-person hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to get the 800 in and then whatever else you can get in, and then we'll come back and we'll figure out where we are and see what we can do on this. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge. And I will note that my manager with Haverhill is also in the Zoom gallery in case any of the defendants have any questions or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right. You do the same. Oh, just give me.
Yeah, there are some people on at 8:30. Your next day is
Wonderful. Haverhill on Clark versus Jail Brewer.
Good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
not.
They are not checked in. Brewer? Okay, the only thing I'd indicate, counsel, I'll let you proceed with the default. I do have information from Hawk that they were waiting on employer verification to determine their eligibility for assistance. But I would let you proceed with the default in this case.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff does move for a default judgment for possession. Currently, rent to retain is $2,606. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total redemptive amount of $2,776 due and owing through the end of April. We would be seeking a writ date of 5/4/2026. No money judgment is entered. And to my knowledge, the defendant is not a minor, incapacitated, or in the military. I would just ask my client with Haverhill if they are aware or if they have received any correspondence or communication from Hawk as to what amount would be they were willing to cover.
They probably, counsel, I might be able to answer that. They probably have not, only because this is the beginning stages, from my understanding, where they're getting information from the tenant to determine whether or not they're eligible.
Okay.
So they probably haven't reached out to the landlord at this point.
Okay, and then my question to the court, Your Honor, in this event, although we are entitled to a default judgment, if the defendant was to file something and indicate that they are working with Hawk, is the court would the court be inclined to set the default judgment aside with proof?
It depends on how they would do that. What I might do is, rather than set the judgment aside, if it looks like funding is coming through, I may hold off on signing the writ to give them time or something along those lines.
That's fair. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Haverhill on Clark versus Jennifer Carthage.
Good morning, Rania Haddad for the plaintiff.
She
Hi,
is...
Jennifer Carthage.
There she is. Okay, hello.
Hi.
All right. How much is owing on, what is plaintiff's claim?
Yes, Judge. I'm showing rent to retain currently in the amount of $2,510. Attorney fees and costs in the amount of $170 for a total of $2,680.
I wonder why is it
All
the
right.
2,000? Because on my paper it said 14.
All right, your paper, you mean on the notice that you received for court?
Yes, it said 1410. Why is it?
Okay,
25?
and if you look at the date that was signed, that only takes you through March.
Okay.
So April's now up due.
Okay. But I wanted to know where the other 1,000 came from.
I'm sorry?
The other 1,000, where did that come from?
What's your monthly rent?
It's my
Your monthly
rent
rent's
is
about
13.
$1,300.
Yeah.
So at the end of March, you owed $1,441 according to the complaint. Your monthly rent is about $1,300. That's going to take you around $2,750. And I'm assuming there might be a payment in there. So that's good. That April is what brings the number up, ma'am.
Okay.
That is correct, Your Honor. It looks like there was a payment on April 2nd, 2026, but before that payment, there was, let me see, actually. My ledger is very light. I'm not really sure if I don't want to make any misrepresentations to the court, but it looks like there was a payment made, and then that brought the balance to 2,400 and, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, Judge. I cannot read it. And then April late fees, and so that brought the balance to 2,510, which does not include the attorney fees and costs. And I mean, this is going to be an adjournment anyway. If the defendant has any questions, she's obviously more than welcome to go to management and have a conversation about.
Absolutely.
Okay. And
All right.
I also I filled out for DHS too, because I currently lost my job, so I'm trying to figure that out too.
Okay. So here's the thing. Between now and the next date, you don't have anything you think you can pay. Is that correct?
Well, my next check won't come until next week on Wednesday. Well, so it come Wednesday night, so I won't have anything till like Thursday.
Okay, that's fine. So that's the 30th. How much do you think you can pay?
I could pay 1,000.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Here's what we're gonna do. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put that you're gonna pay that 1,000 by the 30th. I'm gonna adjourn your case out to May 8th, 2026 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. Okay.
Okay. You said
What?
May 8th.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
May 8th.
Yeah, May 8th. That's 2 Fridays from today. Okay.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is, what you can do is you can get to the management, try to see what you can work out, if anything. What I'm also going to suggest you do, have you called Hawk? Or,
No, I just filled out for DHS and I have an appointment on the 27th with them.
Okay, so you filled out something for state emergency relief?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, just so that you know, how many people are in your unit?
Just me.
Just you? All right. So that would be about $400. $410 is the most that they're going to pay on that.
Okay.
So don't think it's the name is a bad name when they say state emergency relief, because it sounds like they might cover everything. That's not going to happen. Okay.
Mhm.
So I say that so that people don't think that that's out there. What I would like you to do though is to contact Hawk. Do you have that phone number?
I can look it up.
Oh, well, why don't I give it to you? You got something to write with?
Yeah.
Because by the time you look it up, you'll forget to call. And then I'll be staring at you asking why you didn't call.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, okay. All right. Here's the number. It's 734 961
Okay.
1999.
Okay.
Okay. So call them. Now, one other thing. In your packet, there's a rental assistance form. Okay. You need to fill that out and put particularly your DHS tracking number that you have on that form and submit that to the court by Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, I don't mean to interrupt the court. I'm glad that the court actually brought this, shed some light on this. I just want to manage the defendant's expectations. I did hear her say that she's currently unemployed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't start my next job until the end of the month.
Okay, so I just wanted to manage the expectations, Your Honor, because unfortunately the caveat to state emergency relief, even though it is deceiving, the title, the name state emergency relief, is that the defendant has to be working and has to have some type of income coming in, otherwise she wouldn't qualify.
In this housing court session, several landlord-tenant cases are addressed, starting with a default judgment granted to the plaintiff when a defendant fails to appear, awarding possession and setting a redemption amount including rent and fees. Subsequent cases involve tenants who do appear and explain financial hardship, such as falling behind on rent due to large prior payments or job loss, while the judge calculates updated balances, questions their ability to pay, and emphasizes that upcoming rent will increase what they owe, ultimately adjourning cases to a later date to give tenants time to make partial payments, seek assistance programs, and negotiate with property management, while also clarifying limits of aid like state emergency relief and encouraging proactive communication to avoid eviction.